Hello and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. My name is WWEdeadman, but you already know that. And you know, the little relay network that I wanted to set up. Yeah, so here's what happened. So first of all, we of course would have to aim the dish at the active vessel and not at Kerbal Space Center, because that's what the other antenna is for. Also, the other antenna is of course useful for the actual interaction between the different satellites. Now, what I didn't realize until I had launched this second relay, which I think have to launch twice, because the first time I think I ended up turning my rocket over in the air again. Yeah, anyway, what I didn't know is that the antennas actually take so much fucking energy that you can't actually have these. And there we go with the turning it over again. Yeah, and therefore restart. Yeah, you can't actually have them in the dark for too long, or they will totally run out of power. Now, problem with that is I can't put them in such a high orbit that they are exposed to the sun most of the time. So yeah, they totally run out of power and stop functioning as relay satellites when they're on the dark side of Kerbin. Yeah, I did not realize that while starting this one. This worked pretty well, as you see. Do all the aiming and everything, activate the omnidirectional antenna, get this into a nice orbit, and actually have a nice connection here. So this would have been a perfect part of the relay network. Now, just have a look at what this does when I'm finally in orbit. You're seeing this, of course, mostly time accelerated, since I don't want to subject you to more than the necessary amount of burning. Yeah, so there we go. That's pretty much a perfectly matching orbit. Thing is, once they enter the dark side, they don't really work anymore, as you're gonna see once I decouple here. Boom. Come on. And there we go. Everything works here so far, but yeah, then I of course need to bring back my Kerbal, so we turn around, wait till we're in position to burn retrograde to get our periapsis down into the atmosphere, at least close enough to see that we don't lose all our money. As you see now, the things are not actually connected to each other anymore, even though they should. They should totally be connected to each other. That does not work, however. Well, again, we come back with the engine as a heat shield, and this time we actually save the engine by just retro burning before landing. Everything works fine there so far. Yeah, so the thing with the relay network does not work unless we have better batteries and better equipment and higher like mass and part limits on our ships. So we can't really do the satellite stuff unless I uninstall remote tech, but I don't want to do that. Okay, so our Kerbal comes back, we recover him, and then we actually go for some science from space around Kerbin, because we still have a contract for getting science from space around Kerbin, and I just forgot to ever do a crew report up there. So yeah, I could have totally done that while delivering those 2 satellites that will never actually have any form of use, really. That was a huge waste of money. So this is what I came up with. I wanted the high above Kerbin stuff with that. Had goo base, the goo containers are clipped into the girders, and those girders have actual heat shields below them, so they don't burn up. So in any way, first we try this with our engineer Bill, so we can actually get him his experience up, but yeah, holding a rocket straight is not really his job, so yeah. Also, launching in the dark is probably not a nice thing, so we retried it on the day, and this doesn't go very well either. I mean, I'm not even going for a gravity turn here, really. I just really need to go straight up, but I end up fucking that up anyway. So yeah, we actually change him out, Bill, for our pilot, Dofel. And again, we need to time warp to day, because I don't want to launch in the dark, because I just don't want to turn up the ambient light that much. I always forget to turn it back, that's the problem. Now, all I do here is make him point red prograde. He doesn't do a very good job. All I do is make him do stability assist. He doesn't do a very great job about that, as you see. I was just trying to fly straight up. I wasn't like doing anything. Anyway, I still decide to probably just let this come back down and waste a bunch of money, because I kinda really don't wanna time accelerate every time. Yeah, there you see me pause right about now, and then I hesitate a bit, and then I say, you know what, I'll just get some science on the way down, let the booster burn out, decouple that, get rid of the fairings, get out my parachutes, get rid of the engine and the fuel, and yeah, get some science on the way down. Everything about that works, of course, very well. And I even end up getting some goo. Or was it the goo? I think it was, yeah, the goo from Splashdown on Kerbal Shores, as well as a crew report from there. I tried turning him over so I could EVA, but yeah, as you see, that didn't work that well. So I decided, instead of making him EVA underwater and maybe not getting back in or something, I'm just gonna recover him. And then actually go for the actual high over Kerbin stuff. So we essentially go ahead and do something a little bit more more weird here, and just put a radial engine so far into the tank that it actually works as a single engine, which gives us a lot more delta V. But yeah, in the end that did not work out that well either. You see it's in there, but yeah, just look how the launch went. So we take off. Did I not actually time accelerate that? I thought I did. Well, in any way, we're gonna get to see that in real time then. We of course have our pilot on board, so we don't have to worry too much about our heading. But it still doesn't really work with the whole aerodynamics and everything, because yeah, I'm like really hardly keeping my balance here, and that completely throws me off. Also, I totally forgot to throttle up, so yeah, I'm like falling back down because I have only half the throttle that I wanted. Because for some reason still you only have half the throttle at launch. For some reason, I don't know. Either make it 0 or make it 100%. 50% thrust at launch is not something you're ever gonna use. Yeah, so in any way I end up reverting the flight, and the next time we stage this I flip out again. So for the third launch, I flip out again before activating that. But yeah. So in the end, what we do is we actually stabilize this and go straight up again. This of course cost me a bunch of delta V, but I think I still made it to the to space with that, I think. Or no, actually on the next staging you're gonna see what happened. This time I actually flipped out again after staging to the last engine stage. And I have no earthly idea why I did not time accelerate this footage. But I'm not gonna do that now because I already edited this like half an hour to get it to where it is now. Just gonna talk over it for the time being. It's not like I can time accelerate during like launches where I live commentate. So, and there you see, flipping around, and yeah, I end up saying, you know what, fuck that. Let's just go ahead and redesign this bullshit, because this way it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Even if I like get this to point in the direction again, I end up going up and over my apoapsis, and then I push my apoapsis up a lot, but I don't actually ever get near it anymore because I'm already falling back down again, as you see here, starting to fall back down. So that's where I said, hey, let's just redesign this bullshit. I ended up doing a bunch of stuff. There was really a lot of stuff I thought might work, but yeah, in the end, as you see, that didn't do what I wanted because I was over the part limit and over the weight limit. That didn't do what I wanted because it didn't have enough. I was over the part and over the weight limit. Also, it didn't have enough power. And then I just ended up putting a LV T30 and some parachutes on there with 2 big tanks. Any other stuff there would really be not very nice, not very useful. And yeah, then I ended up launching this, which apparently has way more delta V than with the like booster designs. Solid boosters are like completely inefficient. And since in Ferrum aerospace you really don't need that much delta V to get out of the atmosphere as you need in the stock atmosphere, because that's like the thickest soup with the highest drag you've ever seen. By the way, I'm really excited to see what they do with the stock atmosphere in the next update, because aerodynamic overhaul is definitely something they're doing. They said they were not gonna do far, so what I understand in that, they're not gonna do aerodynamics in a way where rockets try to flip upside down while going up. That's probably what's gonna happen. So they're just fixing the drag issues, so we don't have like completely out of proportion drag anymore, and they're fixing the Infiniglide bug, and they're fixing other exploits in the stuff so that the stock atmosphere becomes more predictable, and by that more realistic. Not completely 100% realistic, as they're not gonna implement anything, any like structural failures due to that or something. Yeah, again, trying to head straight up is not a good idea apparently, because again I tried to flip out for some reason, and something like that's probably not gonna happen in the stock atmosphere ever. In any way, we redo that launch with a gimbaled engine, because I thought maybe that would help with the with the heading. Also, I changed the conic to egg-shaped fairings, just because I thought that may have some kind of effect too. I don't know whether the conic fairings actually are worse. I mean, most of the fairings I see in real life are like egg-shaped, like this one. You'd have to ask someone who actually knows aerodynamics for that. I'm no physics student. I'm no physicist. And I'm definitely not anywhere near as good at aerodynamics as the guy who makes Ferrum Aerospace. In any way, this launch actually works, and I don't do a gravity turn here simply because I want to get as high as possible. Then again, I do turn after a certain altitude because I do want to get my periapsis at least above ground, because I don't want deadly reentry to kill another one of my pilots. Because it totally did that the first time. With Jeb back from the moon. So, yeah. As you saw, I put parachutes on this stage so I can drop it and recover the funds. Because engines are pretty damn expensive. Also, 2 fuel tanks of that size, that's pretty damn expensive as well. And they're not gonna drop far away from KSC since I'm just going straight up. So, there I run out of fuel in that stage. And stage that thing. Go on with the LV909. And the other part actually falls back, and we recover that afterwards. Or actually, that's automatically recovered by stage recovery. But yeah. So once we escape the atmosphere at about 70 kilometers, we drop the fairings because those are just dead weight. From then on, because we don't actually need an aerodynamic shape anymore. If I had tried to launch that without fairings, I would have probably never gotten anywhere, because those goo canisters on the side would definitely have too high drag. So, in any way, we get our Apoapsis is up. I get one goo report from New Kerbin, because I thought, hey, I might as well. And yeah, there I try to actually flatten out the trajectory a bit, because I don't want deadly reentry to kill my Kerbal. In the process, I burn out, and I actually have to stage. Yeah. So, in the end, I did not actually get to the height that I needed for getting high above Kerbin stuff. Did I already say in this episode that I love Planet Shine? Because you're definitely gonna see a little bit of that in a moment. Planet Shine is really a nice mod. It's really nice to have your vessel illuminated from underneath with a light blue tint, because of the planet reflecting light. So that's at our apoapsis. Unfortunately, we are still near Kerbin and not high above Kerbin. So yeah, we just keep all of that and then point retrograde and go back into the atmosphere, hoping that our heat shields will prevent us from burning up, and our G-forces will not get too high. So yeah, entering the atmosphere, starting to glow right about there. Here. Ablative shielding coming off, burning up, and our G-forces climbing up to the red part of the scale. Please don't die, please don't die, please don't die, and there we go, the G-forces go back down and the burning stops. So, yeah, our Kerbal survived this, which is pretty nice. We already know that our parachutes will be enough to land this thing in the water, so I end up resetting this because, hey, why not get a goo, like, observation from the water. So, but here I pull the chutes, and then we go back down to the ground. So yeah, at least I did fulfill the thing that the science around Kerbin thing. So we don't actually need to worry about that anymore. And we can take other stuff, like for instance survey contracts. If we actually, we actually have a bunch of plane parts already, so we might do that next episode. Also, we might do some other stuff. In any way, as you see, I end up taking a crew report flying above the water, instead of the crew report from space that doesn't give me anything anymore. And splash down and goo canister. I could have totally done an EVA report here, but I don't think that would have given me anything anymore, because I think I already did an EVA report in the water. Anyway, recover the whole thing and come on. See that we got a bunch of science here. Not enough to unlock anything, but at least something. Also, we did that contract. We dropped a bunch of stages apparently that crashed into Kerbin. I don't actually know what one of them was, because that was like a single tank. I don't know what that was. Maybe something from like a different flight. I don't know. Might have been one of the older flights that got debris in a suborbital trajectory that just came down now. And anyway, the part with the parachutes came back without a problem. And yeah. So much about that. I'd say I'll see you in the next episode for whatever we're gonna do there. Till then, like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more. As you see, we can't unlock anything. And till next time, I'd say... yeah. Bye.